Hey guys, in this new video, I'm going to tell you a few experience that I have using micro SDs or SD cards. These are some of the practices I found really useful. I'll share it with you guys, so stick around and let's get started. Basically, a common problem people have with SD cards are it is not readable. Before you format the card, you would want the card to be readable. Some things are causing these problems, and yeah, maybe you can relate to some of these lists that I have here. So the first thing that you can do is using another adapter. So I do have many few adapters lying around, and you can play along and try to switch adapters and see how it works. Give it some time to read the adapter and to read the micro SD card. It's always important to make sure you give it time to read. It will not pop up exactly after it's inserted into your iMac. Give it some time for it to read. If not, then you switch to another adapter. Because I do have 4 adapters, I do try to see if it can read from any of those adapters. Or you can also use a USB hub that has the micro SD slot on it, and connect it using your USB to your computer or to your laptop. See if it can be read. And another thing that you can do is you can plug your micro SD into another device. So for example, you have like your camera or like recorder, so you can use that to read the micro SD card, or you can use your phone to, and then it'll read your phone. But that'll be hassle because you have to dismantle your phone and to put the SD card there. So I guess that's a few of the things you can do to read your micro SD cards. Also, to read your SD cards, you can use hub or another adapter. Like I used to have a card reader. You can use that as well. Also, to read the SD card is if you aren't able to read it on your iMac, for example, then you can also go to your laptop or to another person's laptop and see if they can, using other machines. And these are some good practices that I think that you should do every time you read an SD card, is because sometimes it's not the card that's bad, sometimes you just have to be patient. First thing is you have to wait for the SD card to be read, and if it can't be read, you eject it and you reinsert it back. Try this a few more times, give it like maybe a good 5 times or 6 times, whatever's good. Another good practice for your SD cards or your micro SD cards is make sure you eject the USB device or the SD card that you're using, so that before you disconnect it with your computer or your iMac or your laptop, make sure you eject it first. So always eject the portable device or your SD card if you want to disconnect it from your computer or your laptop. So that's another good practice. And another good practice is for each picture or each video or content that you transfer from your SD card, after you transferred, you delete it. Normally people delete it and delete the trash as well, so it's not connected in any way to your SD card. Sometimes what happens is you directly use the content from your SD card to your program, for example a photo editor or a movie editor. That can actually affect the SD card as well. You can't read it on your devices, on your other devices. So what you can do is always transfer first the content from your SD card, delete the one in your SD card and delete your trash, then use the ones from your folder to your photo editor or your movie maker, something like that. So I think that's a few good practices that I always do, and I think that experience does play a huge role, and that's it. So if you find this useful for you, give a like, maybe, I don't know, subscribe if you want more. See ya, bye.